Hi all, it's Christy from Christabel's Ponders and Possibilities. I'm reaching out to some warriors today. I think that we are all warriors in some way or another. We are all heroes in some way or another. Every one of you that gets up in the morning, puts on your best face, and goes out to work and makes someone's day with the job that you do, you're the heroes. It's not just the nurses and the doctors and the firefighters and the police officers. It's not just, the EMS workers and the hospitalists. It's not. It's all of you. Every single one of you that gets up every morning and goes to a job that pertains to doing something that helps someone through their day. Whether it's selling something to them, creating something for them, taking care of them. We're all heroes. We're all warriors. We should be proud of that. Unfortunately, today, I stated in a blog and on LinkedIn that I have a couple of dear friends that are nurses and work their tails off to be terrific nurses. And they've been given nothing less than a koozie and a $5 coupon and a chocolate bar to show how much they're worth to the organizations they work for. And we don't come into this to do it for financial gain. We come into nursing as a whole because we want to care for people. We want to take care of people. We want to give back to who we are. For most of us, we don't go into this profession thinking we can make great money. Let's do it. You have to really want this position. It's not for the faint of heart. And it's not for the lackluster who come in and can really achieve at the bookwork, but get out there in the field and could give a crap's behind about the person they're caring for. It's not. You have to have the heart for it. You have to have the passion for it and the strength. And for those of us who do, we're not treated very kindly in our profession for it. We're not only mistreated by our faculty, but we are mistreated by our patients, some of whom think that they are owed something and that we don't do enough, or that we should be ashamed because we walk away from a profession and leave them shorthanded because we stood up for our own rights. And because not only did we stand up for our own rights as human beings and the disrespect that we get, but we stood up for our rights saying that we weren't so willing to be forced to take a vaccine we don't believe in. Now, I'm not one of those. I didn't walk away from my profession because of a vaccine. I walked away because of the disrespect, the lack of appreciation, the overabundance of work piled on someone, and the expectance to be perfect at it or be faulted and demeanored. And I won't do that. This last year, I lost my husband. That was tough. It was a tough, tough road. And this facility was kind enough to give me time off to get through it. But upon my return, they weren't so kind. And I walked away and said, I don't need that. And after thinking about it, most of the facilities I've worked at since I started being a nurse have not been so kind. And I'm not going to sit here and blame people. You get yourself in your own situation. You make mistakes, and that's one thing. But you see a lot these days of how this profession is about how many people can be seen in a day, How much money can they stuff in their pocket? It doesn't anymore exist that these providers are able to take the time with their patients that they used to. They don't know them by name when they come in. They don't know their family or, their story. They don't. They have to be reminded because there's so many to be seen. And then they're given 15, 20 minutes to see each one. Push them in, push them out. Because they're told that they have to fit a certain amount of patients into the day to make the bank for the facilities. That's the deal. They want to see it. They want to see X amount of patients in and out in a day to keep the facility running. And it's become not just that, but it's become a political game. So they're ruling up with the politicians, the evil and the corrupt, and they're forcing you to take on a fear, a scare tactic, that you have no choice because you don't know anything about it. And so all you can do is fear it. And that's unfortunate. And so I won't go back in to the healthcare world knowing that I would have to tell patients something that I don't believe in. It's a hard thing to swallow after I work so hard for these degrees. I have my bachelor's degree as a registered nurse, and I'm proud of it. I worked very hard for it. And I completed my bachelor's amidst losing my husband. It was not an easy feat. Many times I wanted to walk away from it. But I made it, only to find out that this pandemic and the loss of my husband was just more than I could handle. And the way that I was being treated was just more than I could take. And I hate to see friends of mine who are nurses being treated in the same way. It's not fair. It's not. These girls work hard. They put all their effort and their time into this. And they do it because they love it. They love caring for you. But they owe you nothing. They do this out of their choice and the kindness of their heart. They want to take care of you. So don't disrespect them by assuming you know what's going on in their world, because you don't. They stand in a space every day and take risk for you because they want to. They don't need you to stand in line and call them a hero. They just need you to respect them and appreciate them. Not just as nurses, but as human beings. Because they don't just work as a nurse. Most times they go home and they work as a mom and a wife and a daughter and a sister and a daughter-in-law. And it goes on and on. And I wanted to come on here today and tell you that I think that our world has lost its way. I really do. And I'm afraid for our world. I'm afraid for our country and our nation, because I think that we are allowing the corrupt government politicians to take us all over, to run our brains into the ground. And that's what they're doing. You're running around scared to death that you're going to die from a virus. And unfortunately, some of you will, because you have weakened immune systems and you have health issues that make it harder for you to fight off a virus. But I'm here to tell you, if you exercise and you eat right and you take your vitamins and you get lots of fluids, you can fight this virus. It's a virus. There's no medication that will cure it. But you have to be healthy enough to fight anything that attacks your system. And that's unfortunately the truth of the matter. So today I sit here trying to figure out my own life and what I'm going to do with it, because I'm just not sure that there's a spot for me in healthcare anymore. I want there to be. I want to take care of people. I want to be their advocate and fight for them. I want to make sure they get treated right. But I can't do that with my hands tied by politicians and corrupt faculty that just follows the chain of command and does what they're told and treats everybody like crap underneath them. It just doesn't work. So, and I'm not saying all of them are like that. I'm not. There are probably some very great places to work. But you can't go into them these days unless you've been vaccinated for the most part. And I won't do that either. So, don't degrade people, okay? And we really, really, really need to get back to the world we once had. You know, I'm not saying that the 80s were a perfect era, but guys, we had our parents at home, and we had focus on our children, and we watched them grow up, and we watched us grow up with them guiding us. Not computers, not cell phones, not video games, but our parents. And we may not have liked it, but it made a difference. We didn't have shootings in our schools. And we didn't see half of the crime we see today. It's a scary world out there. And I pray every day that all of us stay safe and healthy and hold longevity in our lives and strength. And I don't know what comes next for me, but I know the good Lord is guiding me, and He will see me through, and only He knows my fate and my next steps in life and where I'll go or what I'll do, who I'll love. That's His fate for me. And so I'll follow Him, and I hope that all of you will consider doing the same. Because if you've read any of my posts, you've seen the Bible verses, and you know that He says if we follow Him and we ask Him for forgiveness and to cleanse our souls and to heal our earth, He will. But there has to be enough of us. We need to fight back. We need to take our country back. We need to take our nation back. We need to take our lives back. And we need to stop giving in to the crazy that's going on around us. Stop, take a breath. Look around this beautiful earth that God has provided for you. It's all you need. You don't need anything extra. You think you do because the world keeps creating more, and everybody wants to be at the head of their game. But you really don't need anything extra. You need love. You need your health. You need strength. And we need to be respectful to each other. It's hard enough out there in this world to do what we do, all of us, without us being disrespected by each other and treated unfairly. So, reward your staff justly. Pat your neighbor on the back. Smile at an acquaintance or a stranger. Hold their door. And be kind. And if you're ready, stand with me and others and fight back. Don't let the government decide what's best for us. Don't do that. Because they don't have our best interest at heart. It's my opinion, and you can take it or leave it. But I just can't sit by anymore and watch people degrade people and treat them poorly. It's not fair. We're all trying very hard. I wish you all the best. Always. And I pray the good Lord keeps you all safe and healthy and strong. And I ask one favor. My little boy's homesick today. He's not so little. He's 23. But he already has Graves' disease and diabetes. And so I am concerned. But I know as a nurse that what he has to run its course. And I'll make sure he's taken care of. But if you'll keep him in your prayers, it would mean the world to me. God bless all of you.